Welcome back to Connect Network TV. If you think there's not enough support for the mental health of our working moms, true story. Think again. Justine Carino with Carino Counseling is here with us, and she's making good quality anxiety management more accessible. So please help us welcome new to the Connect family, Miss Justine. Hi, Miss Justine.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you ladies today.
You actually believe, Justine, ambitious working moms are more vulnerable, really, to having these issues with anxiety. How so?
Ambitious working moms are trying to achieve big dreams while also raising little humans. I mean, these are important jobs all around, and there's a lot to juggle at once. So these women set very high and sometimes unrealistic expectations of what they're capable of doing in their career, but also at home. And there's this inner voice that keeps telling them to do more and do more. And they're at capacity. So they end up becoming very irritable and anxious.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking about this irritability and the anxiousness. So how do we know if we are becoming anxious? What are some things that we can look out for?
Yes. So anxiety shows up in our bodies, our mind, and in our behaviors. So when you're anxious, you may start to feel your heart beat a little bit faster. You might start sweating. You might have a loss of appetite or gain an appetite, that's stress eating. You might feel faint or dizzy, lightheaded. You might feel really restless. You could have difficulty sleeping at night and experience insomnia. You might have what we call ruminating thoughts, which are these obsessive thoughts. We can't stop thinking about the same thing over and over again. We're going in circles. So all of these things start to kind of appear in our life. Everyone experiences anxiety from time to time, but when anxiety is pervasive in all areas of your life, over a certain period of time, then you might be at risk of an anxiety disorder, like generalized anxiety disorder or panic disorder, and that needs to be treated.
I want to delve into some tips because someone might be listening and be like, oh my gosh, that's me, that's me, that's me. So what are some tips that busy working moms can actually use to manage the stress and the anxiety? And even if you're not a mom, what are some tips that people can use?
So first and foremost, if you are an ambitious woman trying to do it all, you probably need to learn how to set more boundaries with your time and your energy. So this means you have to start saying no more often and experiencing that nothing catastrophic is going to happen because of saying no, right? We want to do it all. That's part of the drive. And we probably could do it all if we allowed ourselves to, but sometimes we feel burnt out and resentful. And sometimes we assume if we set a boundary with our career or with the relationship, we'll miss out on something. But actually, the opposite starts to happen. We become a better version of ourselves when we're not burnt out, and we see a lot more productivity in our career and a lot more engagement and presence in our relationship. The second tip I would talk about is starting to practice the concept of mindfulness. So mindfulness is defined as the awareness that arises from paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. And my third tip is learn how to challenge and reframe your unhelpful thoughts. So research shows that we have about 6,000 thoughts per day, and about 70% of those thoughts are negative, which means only about 30% are neutral or positive, which is kind of crazy. So if you remember, we were wired this way as cave people. We wanted to try and predict negative outcomes to protect ourselves from threat or danger. So we are kind of wired to automatically assume the worst, which means we have to start to pay attention to our thoughts and say, am I just making an assumption out of fear, or is this factual? Is this reality? So when we can start to pluck out the way we're thinking, observe it, look at it, challenge it, and create more helpful ways of looking at things, our anxiety really, really calms down.
So, Justine, you also recommend that moms go beyond therapy. With your course, they can actually hire you and delve more deeper into that. So I know my ears are ringing. So I know somebody's asking, how can I hire her? How can I connect with her? Please tell us how people can connect with you.
Sure. So I absolutely think that it doesn't just have to be therapy that helps moms, right? I am licensed in New York State to provide psychotherapy, but but I can also provide anxiety coaching for working moms outside of New York State. And that's why I put together this course. And this course is called The Path to Peace. It's a 7-day self-care system for working moms that can be completed only 20 to 30 minutes a day, because we don't have that much time on our hands. And these are my evidence-based strategies that I teach my one-to-one clients, just in a nice bundle that you can do at home. And you can always reach out to me, support, and ask questions about, am I appropriate for the course? Do I need coaching? Do I need therapy? But that being said, you can find all of my services on my website, which is carinocounseling.com, and on my Instagram, Thoughts from the Couch.
Stay calm, stay cool, and call Justine to keep you in that good state.
Thank you so much.
No problem. And coming up next, Connect Fam, you don't want to go anywhere, because we're talking with our girl, TC, aka Terry Kauser, the credit expert.
That's right. And later, Santia Deck is pulling up. She's sharing how she became the first female athlete to own her own shoe company. Coming up next.